Hey, this is Charlotte with PhotoshopLovers.com, and today I want to talk about, I don't know if you guys had watched my other video where I said you should never 99 designs, and I was just basically having a rant about graphic design contest, and I had mentioned that there are several other ways that you can make money as a graphic designer. And the reason it took me so long is that I was doing some research as to, exactly what would work and what wouldn't work. So I tried Freelancer. I tried the free and I tried the paid. Both did not lend me any contracts, even if you pay more to get your project to the top, because there's always someone who will underbid you. A lot of times the projects are underbidded to the point where you don't even want to do them. Second of all, a lot of the projects on those sites are priced ridiculously unfair. One of the places that I went to is Upwork. And this is very silly. This guy, he wanted someone to do his logo for $15. Yes, I said $15. And he had all of these extravagant requests. And then on top of that, he wanted me to give the designs to him beforehand. And I said, no, buddy. And I also am going to need more money. So with Upwork, you have even more, how should I say, unprofessional. You just basically on Upwork, it's just the trash of the creme de la trash of clients on there. It's absolutely horrible. One of the things that I did try was Craigslist. Craigslist is even worse. Those are the people that are going to try and get you to do something for free. They have a startup. They always have a startup, but they have no startup money. That is the kicker. That's the funny thing there. They want to start a business, but they don't want to pay for it. That's like me wanting to start a business, a photography business, for example, and I need a space to do a studio and I need equipment, but I don't have the money for the equipment. Should I go down to the bank and say, well, I will possibly refer you to a bunch of friends of mine and they'll all open bank accounts and you'll make a lot of money? Yeah, it doesn't work like that in the real world, buddy. So yeah, try to stay away from Craigslist. There's really not much else as far as like forums and jobs forums. There is a section on Behance that you can apply to jobs, which I recently figured out. There on the Behance you can apply for jobs, and there's a lot of jobs that are just like not jobs that you go into. There's a lot of remote work, and there's also actually people looking for designers. One of the best ways you can make money is to create a blog and write blog posts and provide content regarding what you're doing to attract clients. For example, if you were say what not to do when hiring a logo designer, just kind of try to use Google Trends and Google AdWords to try, not Google AdWords, but Google Keyword Tool. Try to use that to look for what your clients are looking for. Number one big mistake that people make as designers is they don't have a niche. Most successful designers, they narrow it down. So logo design, web design, that can be a very broad general term. You're going to have to pick what you want to do. So for example, I have a friend who sells pit bulls. And so he knows a logo designer who does just pit bull logo designs. So that's all it does. And so you'll rank higher in a keyword for that particular key phrase, and you can build up a clientele. You can look just for people who are looking to sell pit bulls, and it makes it a lot simpler instead of like diving into a huge deep sea of, everybody. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work like that. Now, mind you that this person that he knows, the logos that she designs are horrendous. And she's making money, she's making orders. And a lot of times, more successful designers will sit there and be like, how is this person making money? Their design is crap. And it's because they are marketing. It's 80% marketing and 20% design. I'm sorry to say, but it is. It's a sad thing, and that's what I figured out. So the other thing I wanted to mention to you, and you're looking at the screen right now, you're looking at my artwork. The way I generate the most money is by creating these little digital arts. They're just photo manipulations. I create CD covers, designs, whatever my little heart's content. I'll just create stuff, and people will see it and they will like it, and they're like, oh, well, I want that. You know what I mean? Even if you don't have any clients, the best way that I can tell you is fake it till you make it. Just keep designing, keep posting, because someone out there is going to see it. There was, and a lot of these people who got really famous, I don't particularly like their designs. I think some of them are really, really ugly and just plain, or just not my style. I just don't think that there's anything extraordinary about them. But they've become famous because of sharing on social media, and someone out there liked their art. Like they have the quote that, one man's trash is another man's treasure. It's the same thing with art. What may be perceived as ugly to some may not be perceived as ugly to others. So, I mean, that's all I can say really about that. Just keep posting. There's a lot of people who've become internet famous from posting, and we live in a social world. So if you don't have the money for Facebook ads, if you don't have money to, get anything, I would suggest that. Another thing I do to make money as a graphic designer, here's my blog. I create brushes. I create Photoshop brushes. This is my latest brush kit. And I have a store, which I wrote a review about cells. I use cells. And you can find the video and find the link and a discount coupon code for it. But I love how the way this is neatly set out, and you can just start making your own graphics and uploading them. So that's really cool. Now on Twitter, a great way to make money as a graphic designer, where if you're looking for clients, you can just put in parentheses, I need a logo designer. And everybody who's tweeting about that is going to be coming up here. And you can just, reply. I'm a graphic designer. See my stuff at photoshoplovers.com. And you can put like a picture or something of your art. You can put some examples of what you do. It's very simple. This is not rocket science, He may or may not like my style, It just depends. And you can actually create like little contact cards little advertisement cards, and you can just post that in there. That's what I normally have, but I don't want to share that here with some of my personal information online. And I need to make a better one too. It's all about presentation. So these are all the people looking for a logo designer. So you can see all the keywords here, and you can reply to them. I would say when you're on social media, the best way to get more people engaged is to be a designer, but also be real. I make a lot of posts that are funny, and I say things about personal stuff in my life because people want to connect with real people. And I do have a full-time job. It's not as a designer. I do this stuff in my free time, and the reason why is I work from home from a company and I make pretty good money, so I'm not about to give that up. I am possibly going to be relocating to the Texas area and hopefully to take a design job over there, but to be honest with you, I'm not ready to let go of the job that I have because it's very convenient, because I don't have to have a car. I work from home, and it's very, very simple job, and I get paid very, very well, and I have really good benefits. So I do the graphic design in my free time, and you can make a little chump change, selling your design stuff. You can also go on Facebook and post your art, and I've gotten some pretty good clients doing that. You have to keep at it. What I do suggest is that you don't post political stuff or things that could offend people or offensive. You always want to remain neutral on everything. And if your work doesn't speak for itself, if your work's not beautiful, then you're not going to get clients. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. In order to get clients through Facebook or social media, your work has to speak volumes. That means that you don't even have to advertise. It's just basically people will see your work and be like, I want that, I don't really advertise. I don't spam people at all because I don't want people to do that to me. I find it really annoying. I just post my art. I'm like, here's my latest art, blah, 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 blah. People see it, and then they ask me, hey, I didn't know that you were a graphic designer, and let me go ahead and, sign up with you. And I give them the information. I don't get every single person, people, some people can't afford me, I don't lower my designs and my pricing, and I don't do things that, jeopardize my image, because the way that I explain to clients is you have different choices with everything. Like with food, you have McDonald's and you have, Red Lobster. It all depends on what you want to spend, on what quality. McDonald's costs $5 and Red Lobster costs quite a bit more. But you get a quality meal, you get better service, and that's what I'm offering. So, you have to use analogy. You have to be able to speak to people in a manner that, that can get across to them. And another tip that I want to give to you is that communicating by email or over Facebook, what you're going to do, you're going to get that phone number, and you're going to say, let me call you and let me discuss it over the phone. Because when you explain to them, and if you're a good salesperson like me, if you explain to them exactly in vivid detail on what you're going to do for them, how you're going to do it, and how you're going to help them, and what results they're going to have, they're going to see why they should pay that much money. But if you just put out a quote and just say, hey, I want some money, it's not going to happen. Trust me, been there, done that. So those are some things, some tips that I will definitely, bring that to your attention. With Facebook ads, I don't know if you're on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is another great place to find clients. You can find all kinds of clients using the same search methods. You can also do that on Facebook with hashtags. With hashtags, and what I mean by hashtagging is that if you hashtag like graphic designer, or like if someone is like, I need a logo, you can also do the parenthesis search and look for graphic designers. But when you're posting your art, you also want to post graphic designer, logo designer hashtags. A lot of people are like, why are you using hashtags on Facebook? Yes, honey, they work. So when anybody searches for that on Facebook, you are at the top of the list. And because a lot of people don't know about that, they're not using that. Pinterest is another great place. Penning things. I know some people don't have anything better to do in their life but pen, but penning things or penning your artwork and making collections of your artwork along with other artworks helps as well. I haven't made any money off of Pinterest, but I've found some people who were interested in my art, possible leads, possible clients. So, I mean, if you ever take into the consideration of marketing, most people, just think of it yourself. Before you buy something, you swim around. And what I mean swim around is that you go back and forth, A lot of times it will take a few times before someone bites on the fish bait. So you just have to keep at it. I mean, it's not an easy thing. If it was such an easy thing, everybody would be making billions of dollars. It's not a very simple thing, especially if you're a one-man shop wearing all the hats. You got to do your website, you got to do your marketing, you've got to do the design, you've got to do research, you've got to look for clients. It's a lot. One of the things I would suggest, if you have the funds, is to hire somebody or recruit somebody to do sales for you, to find the leads. And if you make the sale and if you make the money, they get $100 per sale. You know what I mean? Like, work that into your budget. Also with Facebook ads, Google advertising, it's very, very, very expensive. I don't know if any graphic designer that I know has that in their budget as a startup. But the way around that is like with the blog. Make blog posts and keywords. And I don't know if you guys have ever used Google Trends. Google Trends is basically, let's see here. Oh, and YouTube. I'm already on YouTube. Let's see, Google Trends. If I can spell right. Google Trends. Google Trends is what is trending. So right now, Valentine's Day is trending. So I made some Valentine's Day Photoshop brushes because that's what's currently trending right now. So you just have to know how to market. You can't just be a graphic designer. I'm sorry, but you got to know a little bit of SEO. You got to know a little bit of marketing. You got to know a little bit of everything, and you just have to keep trying. One of the things that I want to say is that some of the most successful people have failed several times. And you can look them up. I'm not going to go over all of the successful people who failed and then now are billionaires. I was going to tell you something. Once upon a time, like before 2008 crash, I had a website. I'm not even going to say the name of it because I'm actually ashamed of it. I actually, during that time, lost everything because my husband lost his job and I was working from home doing my own. I was freelancing and I was making quite a bit of money. I was making really, really good money. I was friends with the CEO of Smashing Magazines. He's actually my Facebook friend on my old Facebook page. His name is I can't even pronounce his name. It begins with a V. But I was on a name-to-name basis with him and a lot of huge designers. And my website was a page rank 3. And a lot of my articles were featured in Wired magazine. And I almost made it. And if it hadn't have been for my husband losing his job and us having to relocate and downsize, I lost my domain name, I lost everything, and I had to start over from square one. And it takes time. With the new Google algorithms and Penguin, Panda, all these weird, freaky names, you just have to go through them. And if you're trying to save money, you're gonna try to rank by doing SEO. You're gonna have to read up, and you're gonna have to do all this stuff yourself if you can't afford to hire someone. It takes a lot of time. It just doesn't happen overnight. Like, say for instance, if you post a product, like whatever you're selling, give it time. Keep talking about it. Keep reposting it. And carry some business cards with you. Carry some flyers. Look up businesses in your area. One of the things that I was reading about, and I read all the time about how to make money as a graphic designer. I am constantly reading book after book after book. And there is no magic solution. I'm not going to lie. But anyways, it was talking about the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber joining different business organizations and going to trade shows. If you can leave your house, I personally can't. So that has been my downfall right now. I'm not able to network. But the other thing I wanted to mention, I'm all set up to do business for the government, and I'm kind of like on a pause right now because I'm waiting for, once again, my husband to get it together, because I still have to work a full-time job because he was never able to get that really good paying job. I'm the one who's bringing home the bacon. So I can't go off and do my whole little government project thing, which is basically what it is that you can bid on projects for the city and state, and you can get $100,000, $200,000 projects. Bidding on these projects, you have to go through this whole thing. And I don't have time in this video to like go through all that. But I am planning on doing that. But it's basically, the way it works is that if you're a woman, or if you're black or a minority, you get those projects first. So basically there's this rule that the government has to give some of the work to the little man. And the government pays overtly. Like when you're dealing with clients, it's child's play. Because they're never going to pay you what you're worth. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude or anything like that. It's always going to be like that. You're always going to have to put your prices to a point where if I wanted to charge what I wanted to charge, I would never have any clients. So I've made them at the rate that other designers have. It's the same thing. Like if you are a cable company, you're not going to make your price 100 times more higher than your competitor, because then you would never sell anything. So I basically rate my prices according to my competitors. And then so anyways, getting back to that. So with the government, they pay astronomically. So, I mean, $100, $200, $500,000. You're talking about $20,000 to design a friggin' flyer, ongoing for them to update their website or whatever project that they may have. So, I mean, the money is out there, and the reason how I learned about this is through somebody that I worked for, and I started asking a lot of questions about it because she was making a lot of money, and I was working for her doing the designs, and they were making billions of dollars, and it was not billions of dollars, but millions of dollars, you know what I mean? They were making money, and I wanted to do that too, and so I started to research that. But that's a whole nother subject with the government thing. Mine's on standstill. I can tell you some of the things that I've already done. I haven't actually went out and bid and everything like that, because before I want to do all that, I want to make sure that I have 100% free time, because that's going to take up all of my time. 100. So I hope some of these tips helped out. I don't know if they will help you, but these are some of the things that I have learned over the years. And just keep designing. Keep putting stuff out there. Even if if you don't have a client. One of my suggestions is I wouldn't enter design contests, because it's unlikely that you'll win, and they'll just steal your stuff and not pay you, which is typically what they do. I would just go over to 99 Designs, but don't actually fill out the part where, where you have to submit your ID and stuff, but just look through the projects and do the projects, and then post them on your Facebook page. And then people will think that you have clients, and they will see that your work is good, and you can add it to your portfolio. So that way it looks like you're, doing work, but you're really not. And people like to continue to see fresh stuff. I mean, social media is fast, so sometimes the way the algorithm works for, and another thing is, I almost forgot to mention this, Instagram. Oh my God, Instagram. Yeah. Instagram is really good, and also keywords and stuff like that. Hashtags. You can Google the most popular hashtags for Instagram. Make sure you use that along with Grambler. And that helps a lot. So the other thing that I wanted to mention to you, and I forgot what I was going to say. With that being said, you just want to continue to submit work, regardless if you're getting paid for it. Because the way that people pay you is perceived by value. And to understand that perception, people's minds work in this way. If nobody wants to buy that particular item, then nobody's going to buy it. It is why the iPhone is so popular, is because everybody wants it, regardless if it's a really crappy phone. And I hate iPhones, because I will tell you, my Android phone broke, and I had to get a new one, and I had to use my iPod for a week. And I swear, I was about to lose my mind with that one button thing, and it was always freezing up, and it would never work right. It was so frustrating. But people, I was I don't understand. And same thing with my Apple TV. I paid 3 months in advance for DirecTV Now, and I got a free Apple TV. And I was and I also had ordered one in the living room. I ordered a Fire Stick, and it was $39.99, and this Apple TV is supposed to be $149. And I kid you not, the Fire Stick is so much better. It's so much better. And it costs less. But because Apple has this image where it's expensive and everybody wants it, and it's the popular guy out there, people will buy, even though it's crap. So I just want to give that advice to you. You also want to get people to share and like your stuff. Get people to share and like it. Like I said, it's very important that you do that. Oh, and last but not least, this is the most important thing, reviews. In 2017, it's going to be customer service year. I don't know what that's about, but that's what it is. So basically, if you've ever bought anything on Amazon or you want to buy something, you go on YouTube and you look at reviews. Okay? So you want to make sure that you have reviews on Google, on Facebook. You want, if you do a job for a client or if you do a job pro bono, make sure that you get people to write good stuff about you. I can't stress how important that is. Word of mouth is the best selling, period. Like if you can get people to rave about you and refer you without actually paying them, that is the bomb. I've gotten a few different people like that. So, but anyways, these are my tips. I hope you like them, and you guys have a good night. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I am giving away some awesome brushes if I can hit 1,000 subscribers. So hit the like button, make a comment, and subscribe to my channel. Everybody will win the brushes if we can hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys, and have a good night, and I hope these tips help. And if you have any suggestions and you're a designer, go ahead and comment them as well if I missed anything. Have a great day. Bye.